I want to take some time to reflect on the season we just witnessed from Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves, to be honest with you. Yeah, they were dominated last night, bum rush, beat down, embarrassed, and sent packing by Dallas. But to me, anyway, that didn't dampen Anthony Edwards' outlook on the Timberwolves' future one bit. You heard what he had to say, and I give him credit for a lot of it. A lot of the things that happened for him this season, he clearly worked on his game. He clearly improved his game exponentially, and he's got reason to be optimistic because the Minnesota Timberwolves are a pretty damn good team. So we get that. And Anthony Edwards, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder for you, he's only 22 years of age. But there's some things to point out about Minnesota that we got to pay attention to. Number one, they're committed to $196.2 million in salary. So we got to get that out the way. Their tax threshold at $171.3 million. You got to take that into consideration as well. They've got the 27th pick and the 37th pick in the upcoming NBA draft. Their free agents to be Jordan McLaughlin, Monty Morris, and Kyle Anderson. As far as I'm concerned, all three can go. Slow-mo Kyle Anderson, I like him. Love him as a person, like him as a guy. Guarding Luka Doncic, embracing that assignment and stuff like that, I get it. But my God, he's so slow. He's so slow. And there's just so many limitations to his game. You've got to upgrade. You just do. There's also the thing about Minnesota's ownership because Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lowry planned on owning a majority stake in the franchise, about 60%. 60% of it was supposed to be at about $900 million since it was being sold for 1.5, since its worth, rather, its valuation is at $1.5 billion. Glenn Taylor, the owner for the Timberwolves, seems to have reneged on that and wanted to maintain a controlling interest. A lot of belief is that he wanted to be a part of the team and wanted to be right there in the mix because he thought they were going to win the title. And he wanted to be right there after all the years being in this position. He wanted to be right there when they hoisted that trophy so he could be an individual that was seen front and center. At least that's what some people say. I don't know how much truth there is to that. What I do know is this. I can't imagine that Mark Lowry and Alex Rodriguez will come up with $600 million or $900 million, and then somehow, some way, after an ironclad commitment, he's able to back out of that. But still in all, when you look at their financial stability right now, it's a question mark. Now, once upon a time during COVID, the valuation of their franchise at $1.5 billion, now it's got to be at least double that, which also could play a role in why Glenn Taylor suddenly wanted to renege on selling the team because he realizes he probably was getting hosed because it's worth double what I thought it was going to be, what I thought it was going to be worth. But that's not Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lowry's problem. That's a Glenn Taylor problem. But still in all, you got to pay attention to what may go on, what the fallout from that may be. So we can't escape that. As it pertains to the state of the roster, you can't let the embarrassing Game 5 loss to Dallas change the narrative on this season. There's a strong foundation to build upon. They did win 56 games, second most in franchise history. They did reach the conference finals for the first time since 2004. And in terms of who they return, NBA Sixth Man of the Year, Naz Reid, key reserves, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And then you got All-NBA and future MVP candidate Anthony Edwards. He's set to begin year one of a 5-year contract and isn't a free agent until 2029. The same goes for Jaden McDaniels, who's on a new 5-year deal. All-Star Karl Anthony Towns and NBA Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert have 4 years and 2 years, respectively, left on their contracts, right? So you have the foundation. You have the foundation. Again, it comes down to who can you get to pair with Anthony Edwards that's going to elevate them. In order to get anybody, ladies and gentlemen, what you have to say is Karl Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert that's going to have to go in order for you to get the kind of equitable compensation that's going to elevate this franchise from a conference finals appearance and 56 wins and a top 3 seed in the Western Conference. It just comes down to that. It just comes down to that.